My next guest, she is a professional mixed martial artist. She is currently signed with Combate Global. Please welcome onto the show, Claudia Diaz. How you doing, Claudia?
Hello, I'm good, thank you.
And so how's everything going right now for you? And thank you for coming onto the show.
Thank you, you too, to make me be on the show. So I'm good. I was supposed to fighting last Friday, but on the last moment, my opponent pulled off of the fight. So I'm good. I was ready for my fight, but these things happen. So now I'm just waiting until February for my next fight.
Okay, awesome. So is that kind of like more of a set date for you, or is just the time that you would like to fight?
No, it's because this weekend will be the last event of the year. So they
Okay.
take a break on January. So in February they start again to make the show. So this why, because if it's
Okay.
for me, I will fight this week, but
No, I
I'm
get
not
you.
so.
It's
Yeah.
it's it's such a bummer, but you're signed with Combate Global. How long have you been signed with them?
I signed last year, but how this COVID
Yeah.
happened, I didn't fight until this year in April. So I signed for 5 fights with them, and I still have three more to make with them. So for the moment, I'm in this promotion.
Oh, definitely. And it's a great promotion. It's fast growing. Like it's just booming right now. And especially with the
Yes.
rebranding and the deals that they've signed. I mean, it's going places. But for you, at church, it's been a long time coming for you. But how long have you been training in MMA and what got you into this journey?
So I started to doing mugendo. Is kind of like kickboxing,
Yeah.
karate, taekwondo, something like that. But my professional career started when I moved to Thailand almost 5 years ago. Then I started to learn Muay Thai, and I started my also my MMA, everything I started to learn in Thailand, my grappling, wrestling, everything. And I started like that, like going there and start to little bit like slowly growing up and
Yeah.
until now.
Now, did you like did you just know about the competition in MMA and the sport and what it was, or did you watch it on TV and be like, okay, I want to do that. That's cool.
Yes, exactly. It was
Like
like that. Before
okay,
I was just doing striking, but I remember the time when I started to watch UFC was when Ronda Rousey was
that's
the
growing.
girl who exactly. So this was an inspiration for me, and like this is how I start to like the MMA. So yeah,
And what so you started off striking and then you moved and you kept training and adding tools to your belt, correct?
yes,
Okay.
exactly.
And so what about it to you has been the most challenging part of this sport? Because MMA obviously for many reasons is a challenging sport, but what to you was the most challenging thing that you had to overcome?
I think when I get my second fight in one championship and I lose my second fight, so it was like 0-2, right, on my
Yeah.
MMA record, was hard for me because also I broke my nose and I need the time for recovery, so I cannot fight until long time. So I think this was a hard moment for me because also living in Thailand, if you don't fight you don't get money because you cannot
Yeah.
work there, so it's just fight or fight. If you don't fight you don't have any money.
Yeah.
So I remember this time when I broke my nose, I lose again my MMA professional fight, and I was like, oh, what I need to do. So I was thinking, okay, just I need to keep going and back to fighting Muay Thai because there I can fight every week. So what I do is after 1 month and a half, back to train Muay Thai, I just start to fight there and fight like every every month. Like sometimes you fight 2 times per month or something like that,
Yeah.
but I never quit still training the MMA. So I remember training the morning and afternoon Muay Thai because these are very strict. So
Yeah.
if you're not gonna fight Muay Thai, you need to train 2 times for the just Muay Thai. You cannot go and say, oh, I train in the mornings Muay Thai and the afternoon I train MMA. The trainers are not happy with that. So I do morning and afternoon Muay Thai and nights. I'm doing like jiu-jitsu or whatever or gi. Sometimes my trainers are not happy with that. My trainers in Muay Thai, but I explain to them I need to keep training because if I just
Yeah.
focus on my striking when I come back to MMA, I will not know
Ye-
nothing, like lose
Yeah.
everything. So this was a hard time because I was like, don't know when I'm gonna fight again in MMA, and also just fighting for very little money in Thailand, and also injured. So was so many stuff, but I just keep going, happy for and grateful for be doing that, and just now everything changed.
Yeah. And, those experiences make you stronger. So you were training
Yeah.
basically 3 times a day, correct?
Yes, yes.
Yeah.
I remember I was in mornings when I come back to training. My coach always say, "You are tired is because you train on nights, and if you train on nights, when you come here to train on mornings, and you have no power." And I try to explain, but Thai people sometimes it's hard to explain that.
Oh, yeah, for
Like
sure.
they are very. Sometimes it's hard to understand, but it's okay.
No, I definitely I understand. I mean, it's very inspiring because, you're training 3 times a day. I know people that don't complain about going 1 time a day to the gym,
Yeah.
regular gym, and you're, it's, full contact. I mean, for the most part, and jiu-jitsu and Muay Thai and just striking in general. Obviously, it's tiresome, right, on your body. You need time to recover, but you kept it up. Now, you took, what is it, a year off from training? Am I correct? As far as like, I'm sorry, from like fighting, like MMA competition.
Yes, with MMA,
Yeah.
I was fight. So I fight. My last fight on MMA was in April 27, I think. Then I back to fighting Muay Thai in January. So after that, yes, after 1 year, I come back to fight.
Yeah.
No, after I win my belt in Muay Thai was in December. Then I supposed to fight in April for Combate, but happened the COVID, and just after 1 year, I back to fight. So yes, was 1 year and 4 months of just training,
Yeah.
training, training, and I just come for MMA.
Yes. And, you're a very motivated person. So how good did it feel to get your first win? Like you said, you started 0-2, you got your first win. How good of a feeling was that at the time?
Oh, in the moment I was crying so much, like very happy because I know how hard was for me everything. Also because I was living in Thailand on this moment.
Okay.
I know if I left Thailand, I cannot come back to my house. So I was in the airport coming for a fight with $60
Yeah.
and the fight for win. So it's like I need to win or win. I don't have nothing more. I come without a corner because on this moment my coach cannot come because I also have one girl who trained with me need to go to fight. So I was without corner, don't know where I gonna be in Miami, just like okay, I just go with this. I have a fight for win, and I just come like that. So I just believe, and thanks to God, everything was right. And since this fight, I just come here to live to America. And now I'm living here.
Yeah. In Spanish, there's a saying, querer es poder, and that's
Exactly.
wanting to is doing it,
Yeah.
so I can definitely relate to that. And you put that work in. So at this time you were signed with Combate already? Did you, that was your
Yes.
first fight under them? And then you had another fight, correct?
Yes. After that, I have another fight in June 26th, but I get COVID, so I didn't. Just when I went to the
Yeah.
to the hotel, they make me the test and I get the COVID. So this fight was canceled. But
It,
yes,
I mean, it's understandable. And, it's tough. Like, what are some of the challenges you had to experience because of COVID? I remember when the pandemic was starting, everyone was going crazy.
yeah,
I mean, people were probably going crazy to grocery stores, and for
yeah,
some reason, toilet paper was like gold, right? So it's the madness. There's a lot of madness
yeah.
going on. How did you handle that as a professional athlete? With a lot of
Uh,
restrictions.
uh-huh.
How did you handle that?
Mhm. For me, on this moment, when everything started to like close,
Mhm.
everything, I was living in Thailand on this moment, so there was very good. So the gym closed for 2 months, but we still keep training on the street or in my place. I have a small place for train, so I was keeping doing some stuff. So we cannot go like before to the gym with everybody, but I keep having a group of three where we was training. But the thing is, if I leave the country, my home is there. If I leave, I cannot come back. So this was like if I know I have some fight, I cannot come back. And this was the moment where the restriction was hard for me, but was okay. For the other things was okay. Even Thailand was going to houses and give food for the people who still living there. Also was less restrictions about the visas because they are very, they look a lot about the visas and was very open. So was good on this
Yeah.
moment live there in Thailand.
Now, so what ultimately pushed you? Because you're talking about how leaving Thailand, I mean, you couldn't come back after that. What pushed you? Because it's hard, right? Claudia, I know a lot of people that are scared to move an hour away. You moved
Mm.
because you moved to the US, correct?
Yes.
Yeah. So what ultimately helped push you to make that decision to say, okay, I'm gonna leave, probably can't come back here, and I'm gonna do it because that's tough and it's scary. But what pushed you to make that decision?
This decision make my career. So was like, okay, I'm going to fight, and I believe everything gonna be good for me. So
Yeah.
what's this? Just this, just I believe God, everything gonna be good for me. So this was the decision, and I just left everything, and I still have house there, so
Yeah.
I still pay in my house, but I cannot come back. So right now this just open, and the people with vaccine can come back, but it's not my place anymore. So I know for growing MMA, I need to be here in America. I grow a lot in Thailand, but for the next moment of my life, I need to be here in America. So yeah, it was a little bit scared of don't know how I gonna do the things here, but everything is going good. So
Yeah. Now, well, so what gym did you decide to go in and train with? Now, what do you call home?
okay, so now I'm in Houston. I'm training in Main Street. I was before when I just arrived here in Miami, right there. I was training in MMA Masters. One friend who I know from Thailand bring me there, so I trained for 2 months. I think 2 months or three, and I live there in the gym. This like 3 months and a half, and after that I come back to Spain because my visa expired
Okay.
and I have tourist visa here. So when I come back, I come to Houston. I'm training here for this fight camp. I was here, and I think also for my next fight camp for February, I will be here, and maybe after I will back to Miami. I'm not sure yet where I'm gonna train because it's getting a little bit hard
Yeah.
to find the place right for me
Yeah.
because it's different life, different trainings, and I was so many years in Tiger, and it's getting a little bit hard found my good place for me, but I know I gonna figure out this soon. So
You'll
yes,
know it
right
when you
now
see
I'm
it.
in Houston.
No, when you know it, you'll see it. I'm from San Antonio here. Houston is how have you adjusted to the traffic? Because Houston is it's moving, man.
Yes, yes, also here is like very big. Everything is far. My house is like 1 hour from my gym. So it's like, before when I was living in Thailand, with my motorbike, I go 5 minutes from my house to my gym.
Yeah.
Easy. And here everything is hard,
It's
so you
far
need a
away.
car, it's far, and everything, is very different.
Go to the grocery store.
But yes, but now every day I'm learning more how to live here. And the moment I remember it was a shock. In Miami, I have some family there, so I remember the first day when they bring me to the shopping. I was like, oh wow, how many stuff. And my cousin was like, Claudia, where do you live before? In the jungle? And I say, kind, similar. For me, when I arrived even the airport, I remember see so many people different, and I was like, oh wow, I'm in different world. For me, I'm in different world than how I was living for almost 5 years. So it's now it's getting more normal for me this life, but on the beginner was like, oh wow,
No, 100%. And you know what? Have you ever been to Austin, Texas?
No, I didn't
Okay,
been
so
yet.
if you're ever in Austin, Texas, I think Austin, depending on what people will say, I think it's Austin's probably worse than Houston. Just traffic
Yes.
wise, it's real
Wow.
congested. Because I remember
Uh-huh.
calling, I went to Houston once and I was stuck overnight at the airport, and I thought to myself, oh, okay, well it's like 5-10 minutes away. My friend lives. I'd call my friend, hey, can you pick me up? They're like, yeah, but it's an hour away. And I said, oh my God. So never mind. We're not doing this. We're not doing, I'm not
Yeah.
going to make you drive an hour, just an hour at night. So I can only imagine
Wow.
during the day. So
Yes, yes.
Houston is crazy. Austin's a crazier. But back to the MMA stuff here, Claudia. How did it feel to get the opportunity with a company that's growing like Combate Global? They've rebranded, signed a lot of deals with the CBS and Paramount, and it's just growing. It's growing. How did
Yeah.
that feel for you?
This is feeling very good. So I know these are growing, and I know also in February they start to sign with another company of TV.
Yeah,
So this is very good for me because they support many athletes, like athletes with just who start just right now, also who they give opportunity for everybody, and this is super nice. Also in the Latin people,
yeah.
so they give the opportunity to grow and also be on, like, on TV. Many people will watch you, so this is very, very nice event, and I'm very happy and proud to be part of them.
Now, for yourself, we're talking about how that last fight fell through for you, and obviously, like the realistic point is for you to fight February. What can the audience expect from you when they see you fight next?
So for this fight, for like last week, I was very ready. I'm gonna supposed to fight with a Colombian girl. She's a wrestling and boxer. So I improve a lot on my wrestling and on my striking too, because from my time I'm doing a lot kicks, and very stand up. But now I changed my style so much, and I was very happy to show this last week. So this not happened, but on February I'm sure I'm gonna show a different Claudia with more skills, more ready for MMA, and I'm very excited to show that. So I think everybody gonna see a different Claudia. So I'm happy to show that.
Yeah, and as as we're closing near the end, as far as MMA and advice, and you're such a professional athlete here, and this is what you're doing, and you're grinding, you work hard. What advice would you give someone, maybe not aiming to become, an MMA fighter, but just following their dream? What is there any advice you'd give it to any young person that's aspiring to get to some of the levels that you've gotten to?
So you ask me what I gonna say for them for,
No,
right?
any advice for anyone that's trying to
Ah,
accomplish a goal?
yes. I think everybody have the opportunity of be whatever you want. So you have every day 34 hours to choose what you want to do in your day. So always I gonna say to everybody to choose your dream and go forward for that. Don't bother much. Some you have days is a bad day or whatever. Some days you are very happy, some days you are sad, and you need to keep going to train and do your best. But you need to do, because on the end you're gonna be happy of that. You're gonna win, you're gonna lose many fights. I think I lose more fights than I win, but I'm here, keep going, and someday you're just gonna win everything and my fights, and I'm gonna be proud of that. So I think everybody needs just keep going, and in the end God is watching you every day. So if you choose the good way, you're gonna on the end be the winner in all aspects of your life.
And real quick, three quick questions just so the fans and audience can get to know you, Claudia. What kind of music do you listen to if you do train, if you listen to music?
So in the train, I don't have music to
Okay.
hear, but on my last fight camp, what most I hear is music from God.
Okay.
So more music of this kind. I don't know how is this in English, this kind of music, but it's
Yeah.
the most what I hear on this fight camp for be calm, for be relax, so this is the kind of music I use here for my last fight camp. It's the first time I do, but
Yeah.
I was very comfortable.
No, definitely. What's your favorite post fight meal or snack that you like because you're cutting a
I
lot of
like
weight usually?
I like to eat pasta and meat. This is the most I like.
Nice. And then big fight coming this weekend. I'm not sure if you're at the UFC, huge MMA fan, but Charles Oliveira is going to be defending the lightweight championship against Dustin Poirier. Are you going to be watching that?
Yeah, so for sure I'm gonna
Who do
watch.
you think is going to win it?
I think Charles will win this one.
I
I
think
think he
Charles
have a
too.
lot, and yes, I think he have a lot energy and a lot people who have good energy back of him. So I think I feel like him is gonna keep winning this fight. Yes.
I definitely agree with you. Claudia, anything you want to let the audience know before we sign out here?
Just I'm very happy to have the opportunity to share my experience, and I just want to say thank you to you for this and nothing, just this, and they need to be ready for me to next year, because I'm sure next year gonna be good and I'm gonna fight a lot and everybody gonna see that.
Definitely, Claudia, the honor was all mine here to be able to speak to you. Thank you for taking the time.
Thank
And
you so
us
much.
here at Critical Condition Sports will be watching your next fight. We look forward to getting some fight news in the future. And best of luck to you and to all the audience. Thank you for joining us today. I'll catch you later, guys. Goodbye.